Okay, Michael, I I removed the carbs, as you can clearly see. This one's really got me head scratching. I finally get that throttle screw in there, and the bike won't start, and it'll only run on choke. That leak in this cylinder that was coming out, the slow jet venturi, stopped, and I assume that's because of the spark plugs, but the bike wouldn't start. I forced it to start, and then it only ran on the back cylinders, not on the front ones. And I couldn't figure out what was going on with that too. So I pulled the spark plugs, and the spark plug was dry. So I thought, okay, well, absence of fuel. And this is really what got me. This is looking down. I don't know if I can show you this. Here, let's... like that, and then can I zoom in? Right there? No, I can't. All right, well, despite my efforts to show you what I'm seeing inside this, okay, those are two intake valves, and they're flooded. There's tons of fuel in there. So I thought, okay, so whatever fuel that was supposed to be going, whoops, back out here. Whatever fuel that was supposed to be going into this front cylinder has been flooding through the jet and filling, and then going past the rings and potentially filling the sump with oil, filling the oil sump with fuel. So to confirm that, come around over here to the other side of the bike, and we're going to put it up. I apologize for the mess. I'm sort of flummoxed with all of this. And we check the oil. So there's your sight glass there. Wipe that off. There's your sight glass there. And you see there's lots of oil in there. And I know you can't tell because this is video, but the bike is straight up and down, right? Like it's not this way or that way. It's straight up and down. And that sight glass is pretty freaking full. So I'm going to, with my left hand, I'm going to push the bike that way. So the bike is basically going to lean towards the side stand. And we're going to see how much fuel I've pumped into the oil sump. Here we go. So I'm leaning the bike over. Okay, so quite a bit, right? All right, so going to give you an oil change now. So that confirms that fuel is going where it's not supposed to, and now why. So head over to the carbs here, and I'll probably need this. Pulled your carbs off the bike, took them apart. This is that cylinder that is filling with fuel, okay? This is upside down and backwards, so I'm not going to tell you what the number is, but you know, I think it's number... I think this is number 2. Okay, so complicated as they are, these carbs actually sit in the bike like that. Okay, and air goes in this way. Fuel is contained inside these float bowls, which I've just removed, right? And the float bowl, the little curve that I'm holding it by is the vent, and the capacity of the float bowl is held sideways, as you can see. The drain bolt is right there at the very bottom. That's it right there, and that's how the float bowl cover sits in there, right? Okay. All right, so take the carbs apart, take the float bowl off, flip this carb up like this to take a look, and right here, this is the float, and my fingers are too fat. Okay, here we go. So this is the float that determines how much fuel will go in and stop. When this float level gets up so high, it literally closes this teeny tiny little valve right down there. That little valve there. It opens and shuts, right? So this is open, fuel's dumping, 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 shuts. And that's the range that it has, okay? Now, pardon my hands for not holding this as steady as I can. I'll do my best here. But when you look at this setup, it looks pretty much like there's no way that that needle, that teeny tiny little jet there, could possibly fall out. I'm gonna pause the video. Okay, now, lighting is terrible, but I've included the dime in this photo just so you have a visual reference for just how tiny this little bugger is. Canada, C-A-N-A-D-A, The jet itself is not past the second A, and that's being generous. It's really not that big. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the float right out of here. Try not to disturb the dime. Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, all right. Pull that the float right out of there. And now you can see the needle for its actual size, just how big or small it is. This needle, when I took the float bowl off, was not there. It was completely gone. So I'm going to pull this out, and I'll probably drop it just like I did the dime, but I'm going to pull this guy out. There it is. There it is there. And where's the dime? Okay. All right. Just so you can see in reference how small that is. I have no clue how in the bloody world it fell out of there. This is my mistake. I just cannot understand for the life of me how this happened. I need both hands to put it all back together, so I'm not going to show you that part in the video, but just wanted to explain to you why this particular carburetor was giving me such fuel flow issues, is because this needle had fallen right out of the jet, and I still don't know how to explain to you why. This is obviously an error that I committed, because when I look at it assembled properly, and that's the carb right next door to it, I'll just make the movement here. You can see how little of that needle is sticking out. It's impossible for it to have come out of there. So clearly I made a mistake. Sorry for the delay. Thank God I'm only human.